better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Monday. It is Mindset Monday, and I'm very excited to bring to you this mindset today. And today's mindset is accept the challenge. I'm very stoked about this. So before I get to our mindset, accept the challenge, I do want to invite you to tomorrow night's Bible study and prayer time. We've been reading Ecclesiastes together. If you missed that on the monthly memo, then you should know we're reading Ecclesiastes together. It's only 12 chapters. It's not a super long book. I invite you to dive into that. And what we're going to do is we're going to get together tomorrow evening and we're going to discuss it live. For anybody who wants to join us, you're welcome to join us live in the app, which allows you to make comments and stuff. Or you could join us via the Zoom link that you'll see go out today. And the Zoom link allows us to have an actual discussion. And so we're going to go through each chapter and talk about some of the things that we took away from that. And then we're going to end in prayer. And we're going to be praying about the meaningfulness of our actions on a daily basis. Ecclesiastes is all about the vanity of the things that we do here on earth. That is the meaninglessness or the futility of the things that we do here on earth. And it can be pretty depressing, but the conclusion of the matter is very uplifting and challenging, actually, if you'll take it on. So I'm excited about that. I hope you'll join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So today's mindset, and the mindset I'm carrying into the week and the one I want to share with you, is accept the challenge. Have you ever heard that phrase, challenge accepted? That is to say, somebody said something and, well, that sounded like a challenge, and so you accept the challenge. Challenge accepted. That's what the kids are saying these days anyway. Oftentimes it's a joke in our house where something is uttered and, well, then it's taken on like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if this happened or whatever, and challenge accepted. Like my wife, here's an example of the tongue-in-cheek usage of challenge accepted in my house. I just cleaned this room. I can't imagine how it got messed up this fast. I can't imagine anybody who's capable of messing it up this fast. Challenge accepted. Because me and the boys can definitely make a mess of a room really quickly, especially if we're battling Daddy Zombie. I'm Daddy Zombie. Daddy Zombie. That's a fun game we play. Anyway, challenge accepted. Well, in a not joking manner, this mindset in particular is very, very powerful. Accept the challenge, because there is a pretty robust amount of research around the difference in our mindset when we deal with a stressor. So imagine in psychology, this is how they study this sort of thing. There's a few other ways, but here's an example of a study. So imagine in psychology, they have somebody hooked up to an EEG, which is the ability to see what parts of the brain are activating and whatnot. They have somebody hooked up to a little skin dealy that a skin dealy. That's real scientific. It's actually an instrumental tool, the name escapes me at the moment, that measures skin conductance, or how much you're sweating. Okay, because your skin is always either dry or slightly sweating, and the degree to which you are anxious or fearful, that skin conductance goes up. And so what they're doing is they're looking at what parts of the brain turn on and how much fear or latent activation of the sympathetic nervous system, how much of that's actually happening. And then what they're studying is, and they put people in two groups. They say, okay, this group of people is going to get shocked without knowing it. They're just going to get randomly shocked in that other hand, and they're going to have to, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens over this course of 10 minutes or 20 minutes where you get shocked randomly and you don't know about it, right? And they've done these studies where they're watching a movie and then they get shocked randomly, or they're trying to complete a task and they get shocked randomly. It's not like it's not like an intense shock. It's just kind of painful, right? So they have those people. And then they have the other group of people who, over the next 10 minutes, I need you to press this shock button 20 times. You can do it however you want to do it, but you get to control this. You get to accept this challenge. And what's crazy is the shock is the stressor. The shock is the painful thing, the suffering, the difficult thing that the body has to deal with. It's the same. It's the same intensity, same place on both sets of people. But what we find is that the neurophysiological response of the people who don't have a choice, okay, they're dealing with the same pain, but they don't have a choice in it, and they don't understand, and they're not choosing it, okay? Their body responds very differently than the people who have a choice to deal with the pain or the suffering or the difficult challenge in front of them. Because, well, it turns out that it's not actually the intensity of the difficult thing that we're going through. It's whether or not we've gotten to choose voluntarily to take it on. That affects the body. And as you might imagine, the effect on somebody who didn't choose is actually a degrading effect. It's the fight or flight response. The parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight one, the one that makes you sweat, the one that's like really intense and difficult and hard on the immune system and pulling away from the body's resources and all of those things. That is very active in the scenario where you don't have a choice to accept the challenge, but you have to deal with it anyway. And in the other group, the people who accept the challenge, the people who voluntarily take it on and say, okay, I've got 10 minutes. I've got to shock myself 20 times. Here we go. Let's do this thing. The ones who accept the challenge, their physiological response, their psychophysiological response is very different. It's very different. They don't experience near as much adrenaline and fear. And the effect after the bout is actually restorative. So the parasympathetic response activates and starts to rebuild tissues and whatnot. It turns out that accepting the challenge, voluntarily taking on the difficult things that are in front of you today, this week, this month, this year, that will actually build you up over time. Isn't that crazy? That blows my mind. And I say it jokingly sometimes when I talk about the difference between running from a mountain lion. I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I say it on the shortcast. Just depends on if you caught the episode or not. There's a difference. There's a psychophysiological difference between running from a mountain lion, the physical act of running, and choosing to run in your workout. Both of the stressors are the same thing. You're running. But the effect of the stressor is different. In the case of running from a mountain lion, this is terrible. You did not choose this problem, and you are running for your life. Everything's much more intense and difficult and activated, and it would obviously burn the candle at both ends, hormonally speaking, because, hey, you don't need to make testosterone, and you don't need to make estrogen and progesterone if you're gonna die today. So the body burns through all of its resources in order to deal with this terrible stressor that you didn't choose. On the other hand, exercise is a challenge that you have voluntarily taken on. I know it's rough and it sucks sometimes. Well, I enjoy exercise, but not everybody does. And I'm not saying I enjoy every exercise. There's some exercises where I would rather eat olives, and I hate olives. So there's that. But taking those things on voluntarily has a very different and profound effect on the body. And what happens is because you have taken them on voluntarily, you actually grow in response to them rather than get broken down in response to them. And so today's mindset is accept the challenge. Can you picture the challenges that are in front of you? Maybe some things that you're avoiding, things that you know need to get done and you don't really wanna. What is that? I often like to point my clients in the direction of the things that they're fearful of. What are you afraid to take on this week? Because probably means you need to take that on. I've done this very often in my training practice, actually. Somebody will say, I'm pretty comfortable in the gym, except that over there, I don't know how to use it. And I'm kind of worried about doing it wrong. And, maybe I don't even need to do that thing. I'd be happy if we steered clear of it. I'm like, awesome. Let's go do that. Let's go do that thing. I hear it actually very often in consultations. I've never done a pull-up. I've never been able to do a pull-up before. And it was hard going into the gym when I was a kid and the gymnasium, not the gym, the kid gym where everybody's running around playing basketball and picking on each other. And the instructor's like, okay, hop on the pull-up bar, and you're like, ugh, and all the kids are watching you fail, right? I could never do a pull-up. Like, well, if we don't do anything else in our training, we are going to do a pull-up. Why? Because of the challenge accepted mindset. Something that's really crazy about exercise. When you take on a challenge that just seems out of your reach and difficult, when you take it on, even if you don't achieve the actual aim of the challenge, you become stronger in relationship to the other challenges in your life. And that's one of the reasons here in Better Daily, we do the Faithful 40 challenge. We do the Run 100 challenge. We do the Lift 100 challenge. And recently we've had a group of people start the Walk 100 challenge. And the idea is like, look, hey, it's not easy to do the things that are difficult. That's why they are difficult. That's why we call them difficult. It's not easy to do them. But if you'll voluntarily accept the challenge, powerful things will happen to you. And here's the thing, life's hard. Pat likes to say this in our group. Life's hard, man. You have a choice in what's hard, but life's hard. If you're living with chronic pain, you're gonna be in pain anyway. That's difficult. It's hard to be sedentary and in pain, and it's hard to exercise in pain. Unfortunately, you don't have a choice about the pain, but you have a choice about how you're going to deal with it. Like myself, maybe you have a difficult condition in the body that makes it hard to live, harder than average to just, be normally. Well, you can't take that away, but you get to choose your hard. And there's a really interesting New Testament verse here. Paul is talking about the thorn in his flesh, and he says, I asked God to take it away from me. 3 times I asked, actually, and his response to me was, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Now, I don't have enough time to try to unpack that today, but something about that is related to this whole challenge accepted mindset. Maybe you feel inadequate. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you'd rather not do it. But accepting the challenge anyway, that's what makes it powerful. The anyway makes it powerful. So today, on Monday's Mindset, I hope you'll accept the challenge. I'm going to accept the challenges of this week, and maybe I'll go looking for other hard things. We'll see how that goes. Janet, thank you so much for joining me this morning. She says, great mindset. My first word of thought this morning was activate. Sounds like you and I are on the same page, girl. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Thank you for joining me on Mindset Monday. I hope you'll accept the challenge, and I hope you'll tell us about what challenge you faced today or this week, or what came to mind while we were talking here, so that we can encourage you in your journey. Tomorrow's Nutrition Tip Tuesday, and until then, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.